My name is HoN, and I'll be casting this game today. And I am joined by a friend of mine, Salt. Salt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
I'm happy to finally find a co-caster after a long search of messaging many people. But
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Okay, so did you manage to join the game?
Yes.
Okay, should be able to speak.
Yeah,
now.
it works. Yes.
Okay,
The
perfect.
screen is black though, the peeking face, but yes, it's good.
Okay, so let's just go over the bandstand. We have team Grean Tech versus NoahsArk. Lots of unfamiliar faces on the Legion side, but I know that is what you got playing. It is Val playing. It is Sunk Bob playing.
Yes, it's Doze on yellow as well.
Doze, of course, yes. And the last one is, I don't know who that is, but
the Fendi guy is Eston.
Oh, Eston, that was, it was
Yeah,
Eston.
that is
man, people with new names.
Yeah, so many sub accounts to keep track.
Bastards. Okay, so we see Fate banned, we see Adrenaline banned.
Okay, I'm gonna have to listen to you because the screen is black for me here, so I'm gonna follow you, and then when the game starts.
Perfect. So Fate, Adrenaline, Defiler, Prisoner, Keeper, and Buffagore ban, and we see the Engineer being a first pickup by the Legion team here. Yeah. So Engineer's always been a powerful pickup, of course. It's at some point they changed like the keg range to 800 range, and at that point it's the Engineer is such an easy to follow up with hero. If you pick something like a Magmus, if you pick something like a Rally, any kind of like instant stun, at that point the Engineer can follow up and push them back into you with the keg, and the keg doing like a lot of damage early on now.
Yeah, having a reliable stun is always great with the Engineer.
Rally is actually a really good counter pick against the Engineer because the keg is quite delayed. You can really see it coming, meaning that if you don't use the Rally stun offensively, Rally can use his Q defensively to save someone from the Engineer, of course. And the Chipper also quite defensive. And Chipper always like strikes me as like an hero that you need to stack with a lot, and then have someone to clear those stacks, of course. So
also having the shield on Chipper is always a great thing against the Engineer. Being able to save pretty much everyone against theirs.
Yeah, because it's a big heal, isn't it? It's like 125 HP at level 1, so that is like almost negating the entirety of the kick stun plus something else maybe.
Yeah, it absorbs 125 magic damage first level.
Yeah, so okay, Magmus picked up. That was not a big surprise because Magmus plus Engineer is always something that you see picked up a lot. I'm curious if they are going to try lane with that. Magmus is a hero that has been very popular throughout the last 12 years, I think, because of his stun. The stun has not really changed as much as I'm aware. It has always just been very strong, a long stun, 1.25 seconds, and practically impossible to miss. I'm not gonna jinx him right now, but you should, in theory, not miss the Magma stun. But and also Forsaken Archer, what is important to note here, I think, is that if you hit the crippling volley from the Forsaken Archer, the target cannot be rally stunned away to safety.
Exactly. You're staying in place, you cannot move there.
Yeah, you're immobilized.
It doesn't mobilize you, exactly. Yeah, which is a great thing.
Yeah, so Forsaken Archer is quite a powerful hero against the rally, especially if you're not initiating. And the way that I'm seeing it right now is that Engineer and Magmus are both kind of like AoE heroes in a sense, in which they usually do like a stun on 2 targets with the Magmus. And the Engineer just has like a lot of damaging abilities, and the Forsaken Archer can usually hit his crippling volley on 2 targets as well. While Chipper, Rally, they're way less damage on the Rally stun specifically, and also Chipper doesn't really do any AoE damage. So if they were to try lane on the Legion side, I don't see the Hellborn side winning that try lane ever. Not with those heroes, because in a tri lane versus tri lane, it's about like maximizing the damage of your spells on the enemies. You just want to hit as many enemies as possible.
Not very familiar with the Legion side's tactics, so I don't really know how they're gonna run it. But it definitely looks like a very strong trial lane. So yeah, already having Magnus and the Chip and the Engineer in the same lane is great for boxing out, which creates a lot of space for Forsaken Archer to farm. But then again, we're gonna need to see how Puppet Soul adapts to that situation. They might see that coming, they might not.
So, yeah, they can also just if the Legion side wants to run like an aggressive trial lane, you usually pick up the Chipper because you want to stack your entire jungle. So then you can farm it with whatever carry you pick or whatever mid lane you pick. So the one way to deal with that, of course, is to like run an aggressive trial lane with your heroes. But Forsaken Archer kind of fits that same role in which Forsaken Archer wants to be in the safe lane, and then once like you get level 7 or whatever on Forsaken Archer, you just want to farm your entire jungle.
Yes, it's pretty easy to lock down the Forsaken Archer early. She's very vulnerable. So maybe standing her in the trial lane might be the better option, but then again, we do want to see what Legion side want to do here.
Yeah, and another thing, actually, like Hammerstorm, interesting. You do have the one of the new changes they actually made on the Hammerstorm is that you have when you press the W, the Galvanize, is that you give your allies some armor as well for 5 seconds.
Yes, exactly. You give them some armor. I'm not great sure about want to see that.
I think it's impactful.
2, 4, 6, and 8. Yeah, it's a lot of armor. Early,
no. The allies get half.
Oh, the allies get
1,
half.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, but like 2, 3 armor is it's because I don't really think you don't need your E in the laning phase.
No, not used there. You're not farming there. You don't want to push the lane so much. So
giving your allies some, like they don't have that much physical damage, of course, but giving your allies some armor is definitely useful. So that's the stack clear for the Chipper. So I do like that pick, of course, because Hammerstorm, of course, is very good at picking up at just taking stacks. And Forsaken Archer is not a hero with like a lot of mobility. She has a lot of farming potential. She is gonna do a lot of damage with the Nullfire that she is undoubtedly going to pick up, but she does not have an escape like some other faster heroes. Hammerstorm, if Hammerstorm gets in the face of the FA, Hammerstorm is just gonna smack that face into the ground basically, and the FA is not gonna win that most of the time.
Yeah, so that's definitely gonna hurt. You wanna create as much space as you want for Forsaken Archer to be able to shine late game. Otherwise, they have a lot of lockdown on the Hellborn team, which is gonna be fatal.
This feels like a very trainy team on the Legion side. I see an FA and I see like 4 stunners. It's like stereotypical stunners.
Yeah, that's what you want to have when you play Forsaken Archer, right? You want to open up the map as much as you can, make as many plays as you can, and you want to let her shine late game, because I do think that's one of the best snowball late gamers currently in this meta, if not the strongest carry maybe. So yeah, if you make the early game smooth for her, then
yeah, she just farms so fast, doesn't she? The hero is just it's so good. Gladiator. I was gonna say like I would have liked for the Legion team, because you see the Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm notoriously does get kited a bit every now and then. Like if you just have some kind of like for example, if you have a blitz with the ultimate that goes to Shrunken, Hammerstorm, if he tries to go on the FA and you manage to like, just blitz ultimate Hammerstorm's gonna have a real hard time actually reaching the Forsaken Archer. And there are a lot of heroes that kind of like just bully the Hammerstorm in that sense. And they didn't pick anything of that up, because the Moraxis and the Midas, once Hammerstorm has this Shrunken, the Midas and the Moraxis are not really going to be able to deal with the Hammerstorm. On the bright side, they do have the Engineer field to at least give some protection to the Forsaken Archer, and they can of course get tablets and Storm Spirits. And actually one thing that we haven't talked about is also the Kinesis pickup against the Magnus, which is of course insane. Because having a Magnus stun on a Kinesis, it gives you so much survivability. Because the moment you have like the hammer, so then the magma stun on the Kinesis, you're basically like a Magmus Plus at that point, or ranged Magmus, as you could call it. So I definitely expect like it is Hansi actually playing the Kinesis here. I definitely expect Hansi to do great things with Kinesis, and I'm curious. There are actually a lot of good spells for the Kinesis to steal here. We have the Mirax stun, which is not the greatest because you really need to be in the face, of course, but it is still good stun. The Engineer Keg is, of course, insane. Magma Stun is insane. And even the FAQ is kind of good. So I think he's gonna suffer from choice stress, if anything. And we do see 2 Trilans. So that's about what expected.
Okay, also so trying to have a quick reconnect here, having some issues here.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we see the Engineer, Forsaken Archer, Magmus in the bottom lane against the rally. And we see the Hammerstorm. Well, actually, I could also just share my screen. 1 second. Maybe that's better. Here. So you can just... Okay, what? I can, perfect. Then you can watch it me at least. So, perfect. Okay, so... okay, so we see Mirax's Kinesis and Hammerstorm in the long lane against the Suicide Mirax's. And we see the Forsaken Archer, Engineer, and Magmus against a Rally Suicide. And I'm kind of curious which one of these Suicides is actually going to... Like, in theory, neither of them should get anything. And actually, where the Miraxis is being locked out of the lane right now, the Rally is just getting free XP. Which is a bit of sloppy gameplay from the Legion side, I'd say. And yeah, they're just pulling right now. Nothing much is happening. We do see the Magmas rotating over to the mid lane. They don't really... Until like the Midas gets level 4, they should not really get an opportunity here. And I also would like the Legion side to maybe ward for the Magmas rotation, because that is something they should definitely be expecting. And... oh, in the mid lane, that might actually be a dangerous position, because Magma's coming over. Midas already having the some damage in. Didn't end up going for it. I think they could have committed for that. Kinesis also not choosing to steal the Magma's Q when he had the opportunity there is kind of greedy, I think. Because the Magma's Q just helps so much with Swipe. And that's a good Q! He has the Apollo. Oh, he's gonna survive with just a couple of HP. Clutch Apple from the Midas there. Region Rune being picked up in the bottom lane. And yeah, Rally is just getting a lot here, while the Mirax is just being completely locked down. And this also comes kind of back to the fact that they did not actually find the... they didn't find the Rally in the early game, while he was just sitting there. They just let him kind of chill in the jungle. And oh, Miraxis might actually be dead here. Miraxis already used the W, and he's gonna get, yeah, good patience from the Hammerstorm by not using his Q when activate the shield on the Miraxis. I do think Miraxis could have maybe played it a bit more patiently with his shield, because I do think that the Hammerstorm Q actually counts as a projectile. So I think you can... I'm not actually entirely sure. Does it count as a projectile? So when you like Hammerstorm shield, eh? So it's like it counts as nullstone initially, but it also works against projectiles, for example, against like chipper rockets. So if you would wait until the projectile from the Hammerstorm, the Q, is already in the air and then activate your W, I'm not 100% sure whether or not you would get stunned on it. Do you know?
I'm trying to solve the issue here. I'll get back the second I can.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you can always just watch the other screen, right? On Red Ice's Discord. And they're going mid lane. They are not gonna get anything. Kinesis is still choosing to hold on to the Golden Salvo. The Golden Salvo is a lot of damage. It is 100 damage if you hit 1, and 120 actually if you hit 2. So it's definitely not bad. But I mean, it's no magma stun, right? And we see, yeah, okay, so the Gladiator is actually winning this mid lane pretty hard. I do think this is partially because the Magmas early on. And this is actually an issue I've seen with a lot of Magmas pickups, is where if you don't really run if you don't really run the Magmas in the trial lane, it's kind of hard to get stuff done with the Magmas. Oh, and the Magmas actually ported to the top lane. Magmas also not choosing to pick up boots. I don't know what the Magmas is gonna do in the top lane. Maybe they want to choose to like go 2v2. They did actually see the Magmas rotation because they had a ward on the top side near the camp for the first few minutes. They're not gonna be... Oh, Hammerstorm Ghost Marchers. Oh, that's something. Oh, and they're going top lane. Magnus is here, but the Chipper shield was already used. Magnus does not have his Steam Bat, so Magnus should be dead here, I think. He does have 9 battery charges. No, but that's a dead Magnus. Okay, yeah, Magnus with just no boots. It's just a little bit too... Like... It's not very versatile. You can't really do much with it, because the stun range on the Magnus is only 400 range early on, so... That is just really awkward. I don't know. I don't like it that much, but we do see at least the entire jungles, both of the entire jungles being completely stacked by both teams for whenever the carries choose to, you know, go there. But yeah, Magnus, the Morax is only being like 90 GPM right now, while the rally is 200 GPM. And a lot more XPM as well, just because he got to sit in the lane a lot more. He got boots now. He got like level 5 at 0.6. Level 6 he can actually start doing stuff. So that's really good for them. And I think that comes back down to simply the enemies not really looking for the Magnus. They just let them sit in the lane there for no reason. And I don't really understand why, because they had the Magnus and the Engineer in the bottom lane early on, where they could have showed... Like, just look around a little bit. You gotta be somewhere. So he didn't really do much anything anyway. He can't really gank middle either, because well, the Midas needs his level 6, and after the 6 you can really choose to start doing stuff. Okay, FA just steadily going towards what I imagine is a Whispering Helm or something like that. Rally might be in some danger. Rally gets initiated, and that's the arrows and the crippling volley and the keg on top. We do see some ports coming in. That is a pitfall and a W used on the Forsaken Archer. Forsaken Archer may be in some trouble. They do... Oh no, they're gonna turn it, and that's a big 2 Magma stun and a keg on top, and it's a turn for Legion side. 2 turns. Sadly, there were not more ports there. The Chipper not having a port ready. Hammerstorm having a port ready but not choosing to use it means that they lose both the tower and 2 kills. And unfortunately, I believe that the Gladiator actually had no mana for the ultimate there. I think they had the ultimate, because the ultimate does like 300 damage level 1. That may have been enough, but without that, maybe not. Okay, perfect.
Yes, no problem. I'll do that. Right.
Yeah, nice. Okay, this should be fine then. Okay, so is everything okay on your end now, Salt?
Yeah, I'll just follow your screen. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm ready now.
No, I'm happy that you're here, man. Like, talking to myself does get boring after an hour.
Yeah, I figured it out. But you're doing an amazing job, so it's like... I'll try to catch up from now, so...
To be fair, that's just like streaming experience, right?
Exactly.
Just like monologuing like a fucking pro.
That's just an everyday task, right? It's
exactly. Okay, so what do you think about the Ghost March Hammerstorm?
Ghost Marchers, I mean, it does have its benefits of having high mobility, but at the same time, they have a great burst potential from the Legion team, so That depends. I think if he wants to go a little passive, then having Steam Boost is the better option. But if he plans on being more active and getting some more rotations, probably Ghost Marchers would be the better option here. But either of them, I think, were great on this hero.
That is a sneaky ward. Because like a lot of the, I think a lot of the game is going to be decided in the next, say, 5 minutes, when the Legion side decides to take, well, these stacks, and the Hellborn decides to take these stacks. Oh, they're actually already doing it. Sadly, no one is actually there. I would have liked maybe Rexus or something to at least get ready to kind of disrupt them here, because that was a really good ward from Magnus there pulling it up.
Yeah, I would have loved to clear that stack now to get some advantage on the mid lane.
Yeah.
And they did it first.
When I played comp, right, back in the olden days, what Imba actually, Imba Boy did a lot when he was playing FA, because FA was even more broken back then, was this. Ultimates to double, triple stacks, basically. But what he would use to do a lot is actually just smoke into, like here, smoke into the enemy jungle, and just nuke it down instantly and get out. And there's nothing you can do about it if, like, you're always gonna be too late, because you just gonna pop it, and it's just gonna run away after. And that is like one way to really get the usage advantage. It is a risk, of course, and especially if they know that you're not, you know, taking the stacks in their jungle, in your own jungle, they're gonna expect something, especially if you do it more often. Engineer also just chilling with FA is something that I like, because he's just gonna get so much experience from this, right? Because the Grave Locket, whenever an enemy kills a creep, or so whenever the target you're linked to kills a creep, you get XP from that. And the same thing, we have Max also, or the Chipper with the rockets. Whenever you stack a camp, you also get 50 XP. So in the early game, as a support, it's actually a really good way to get a lot of XP and gold, of course, as well. For your team.
Combined with an affiliate pack, that's always a great thing.
Yeah, true. That's a good call, yeah, because we do see the affiliate quest picked up on the Chipper here. I would have liked to see it on the Kinesis as well, because it is only 70 gold. We see it picked up on the Engineer as well, though he hasn't finished the stacking part. Magnus also actually picked it up. So, I mean, it's just
you get to get the return for all the money that you spend. So why not? I mean, you're gonna spend it anyways, right? So might as well just get it in return.
Exactly, and it's only 70 gold. That's the thing for me always. Like, it's 1 TP or something. It's just
70,
worth
not 80. But it doesn't matter, right? I think it's 80.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Well, I'm using it more than you, so that makes sense. That would have been a shame.
I usually pick it up when I'm jungling, funny enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're always stuck when you're jungling. Well, yeah, but I just buy 3 wards, like at minute 20 or something, I just buy 3 wards. And then, like, I get 700 gold in return.
Exactly, because in TMM
it seems like a good deal to me.
To rely on, so you have to rely on yourself getting the wards.
Oh, and we've seen the bottom lane. Magnus only level 4, so... Oh, and that is a good pickup by the... Is he gonna die, though? Yeah, that's actually... Okay, so we do see the Nullify Blade being picked up on the Forsaken Archer here. It's only Nullify Blade level 1 still. But Nullify Blade against the Hellborn team, specifically also is gonna be so powerful, because you can purge the buffer from the Chipper. Gladiator does not have a lot of mana. The Rally does not have a lot of mana. The Hammerstorm does not have a lot of mana. So a couple of hits, and every single one of them is gonna be out of mana.
That's one of the disadvantages playing carry strength hero.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that for sure. And just strength heroes in general just tend to have a lot less mana, because they also don't need to pick up like things like Sackstones to boost their HP a little bit, because, well, you're strength hero. But I wouldn't mind seeing a Chalice on the Hammerstorm this game. I don't mind Chalice and Hammerstorm in general as much as I used to, because you can just use your Q to farm. I think he is actually going for a straight Shrunken, which I do like. Look at the enemy team, and that team screams. Oh, in the mid lane, we see the Chipper getting initiated upon, and that was a good kick into the Midas combo. I don't think they're gonna get anything else here.
That's a great burst potential on Legion lane.
Yeah, they don't
Not
really
much
have to
to do.
set up stun with the Magmus not really being there, and the Magmus only being level 6 and not 7 yet. But yeah, they didn't need it apparently. Engineer hitting the keg. Engineer keg is not the easiest spell to hit, but it's also not impossible. They could also choose to initiate with the Midas, of course, but that's usually want to use your warp then instead of like the combo. That's faster. And we do see people rotating over to the Ancients here. Forsaken Archer already cleared the Ancients, and Forsaken Archer popping his ultimate to clear stacks is something that I do really think is a good thing, because you're not really choosing to fight anyway. Might as well just pop your ultimate and just be safe.
Yeah, no
It's
point
something-
saving it if you don't plan on participating in fights.
Yeah, it has a really short cooldown, like 80 seconds. 100 second level 1, but 80 seconds level 2. It's really not that long for such a powerful ability. And we do see the Hellborn sides trying to play a lot more proactive than the Legion side here. They do have the team to do it, because like, you know, stun city.
Yeah, also you don't really want to go super late game against Forsaken Archer. So you might want to make the plays there to create some to prevent from FA from snowballing early game.
Yeah, and we also see the Gladiator going for a mock, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, possibly. Aiming up the
I
goal.
mean,
It's also got buff recently, so it's a great item now.
it's either that or Doombringer. What do you
I doubt it. I mean,
Wanna place
Buffalo
bets?
could do anything. He's capable of doing anything, but
If I whisper him now, buy Doombringer,
he's
he
probably
might
gonna
actually do
it.
it.
Yes, but I feel
Doombringer or Pussy.
but I feel like his team is not going to be very much satisfied with that. So
They'll forgive me. They'll forgive me.
yeah, 100%.
Most of them will. No, but like they do. The Legions, so the Hellborn side does actually have some gank potential. They have to rally. They have to, and we see that in the bottom lane. That is Kinesis ultimate into the rally ultimate, almost rally ultimate into the rally stun, and it's just dead anyone. Kinesis finally managing to get. I think he's dead here. Yeah, but. And there's no mana anymore on the rally. Rally just got mana drained, and that is again the power of the Nullify Blade, what we said, I talked about earlier. And that is actually going to be a cleanup for the Legion side, most likely. Max running for his life, but unfortunately, it looks like Max forgot to pick up a wind whistle.
Yeah, NG and FA are doing a really good job with their skill shots.
Yeah, so but in general, I think both sides have pickup potential. Especially with Gladiator being level 11 right now. The Showdown having a 1k range. Of course, the Showdown is a quite... Oh, that is a Magma's ultimate. I don't think he's gonna kill him.
Oh,
that was actually a lot closer than I expected. What is the damage on Magma's ultimate level 1? Oh, that is 660 damage. I don't play Magmas a lot.
Yeah, I guess in Gladiator not having investment also.
Yeah, he just rushed his mock, so it makes sense. I guess that is also maybe the reason why they are choosing to play so passively, because they want the Magmas. Sorry, like basically at this point, the Sword of the High doesn't really do much, not that much. So at this point, you spend like 3.4k into something that doesn't really do much. So you could say like gold-wise, subtract like 3.4k from the Hellborn side. That is until you get a mock, and then suddenly, like especially in the early game, that 50 damage AoE is gonna be impactful. But yeah, if you look at the GPM, Hammerstorm and FA are actually very similar, and I would have liked also for the Hellborn side to with the Hammerstorm. Exactly. Kill Convert. Hammerstorm kind of just...
level 16 as well. Could have a great team fight there.
And we do see the Legion side do that, because Legion side was like, well, TD?
Yeah, why not? Why not
anyway.
Exactly.
And FA just with that Nullify Blade level 3 now, he just hurts, right? PK picked up on Hammerstorm though. They really wanted to go there. If they were 5 seconds earlier, they could have gone. This is a massive smoke party in the mid lane, actually.
Yeah, Legion is being a little suspicious here.
Well, I think the Legion knows that something is up because you don't see anyone, right? So there is like a wave here that's not being farmed. Huge wave here that's not being farmed. In the mid lane, there was only one guy. So they should have known. I don't know if they checked the links, like the grave lockets. If you pay attention to the grave locket, it always gives a lot of information, especially these days. So the grave locket, how it currently works is. Wait, who died? Oh, Mindtrack's start again. Yeah, they're not really getting much off. Yeah, Mindtrack's being involved like in 1 kill this game. And I don't even think that's his fault. I think like Legion side might be playing a little bit too passive for what is good.
Yeah, they also have great counters for rally. Yours like Engineer, Midas instant counter into initiation as well as Magnus.
Yeah, and I think this actually is maybe the problem, something that is going to be hampering the Hammerstorm going in the bottom lane. That might be that Engineer.
It's nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I think it is a little bit greedy to not pop his Shrunken there because they didn't really. Oh, they have good vision. Never mind. Okay, they're going in the mid lane actually. That's a rally. That's a Gladiator ultimate. They're getting 1 kill, but they're gonna get a return kill on the Knista, and that's Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm with the Shrunken now. They're going on the FA, but FA, is he going to be able to survive here? He actually might. No, that's a big FA ultimate, and the FA is gonna fall. The entire enemy team got actually mana drained, but it was not quite fast enough. And that was a fight without Engineer, and without Engineer, they don't really have anything to protect the FA from the Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm not having his Elder Orb did hurt him a little bit, and that is Kevin going to fall to mines. That brings me great joy, seeing Kevin die to mines. That is a personal thing.
Yeah, it's a personal joy, right?
Yeah, it's enjoy the little things, but no, but Hammerstorm actually not using the Shrunken there paid off for him, of course, because and he Gladiator bought a Doombringer.
Oh my god!
I wish I bought that bet. Like I placed that bet now.
I think you know Kevin more than we all know him, right? So
I taught him to be a little bit less. I'm not trying to use the R word, but creative than this. I think he tried to buy it as a joke and then actually bought it.
Yeah, I think there was like a telepathy stuff, right? You just sent it and you got it.
I did not send the whisper. Don't start whispering right now. Also, you guys in Twitch chat, I did not send the whisper. You can check my logs after this game. I did not send the whisper.
I'm actually not sure what I think about that. Because Gladiator is a hero that you would probably want to expect to
pick a Doombringer? Yeah, but not in the first 20 minutes of the game.
No, like
not when they have a Forsaken Archer. That's would very much like to have a Doombringer.
I mean, he's obviously not gonna frontline anymore because he went for the Doombringer, right? He knows that
but he doesn't have a Shrunken either, so he's still gonna die at some point. Oh, they're going mid lane. That might be that's Magnus here. And look, he's playing so passive now. And of course he has to. Look what he has. He has nothing. He has 1.1 HP, no like magic armor, no armor. He is gonna flash farm now.
Yeah, he knows that if FA gets this Doombringer, it's probably gonna be the end.
Yeah, because then at that point, Forsaken Archer buys like some HP, right? Like a Symbol and a Shrunken, and FA is just never going to die again.
Like one sneak play with the like Mushroom, either Assassin Shroud and FA could be fatal for Gladiator, giving that Doom. But let's see. It's either gonna be very good or it's gonna be very grief. Only time will tell.
Isn't that like the case with a Doombringer always, though?
I mean, sometimes, yeah. I guess it is. Especially
like the only hero I don't mind seeing a Doombringer on early on is Artillery, because Artillery is actually like playing defensive on Artillery is easy.
I'm curious what is the next item going to be with Puppet Soul. He might as well just get a PK, right? And like Showdown, Flick, Showdown,
no,
Flick.
Shrunken. If a team fight goes south, you want to be able to TP Shrunken out. Right? That's the one thing that you want to do, because you don't want to lose the Doombringer. So you just, like, if anything ever goes to shit, like if you ever fall for a bait, you Shrunken and you get the fuck out of there. Because that's how you keep the Doombringer. And Well, like, I don't want to say he's gonna buy another Doombringer, but he already made a poor choice of items one time, right?
You think it's poor?
I think okay, he should buy. Okay, actually, I wouldn't mind the Frost of Skull either, but PK is of course something that's. No, you might be right actually. PK it might be a pickup because then he can just really sit in the back line, W himself, it's W out, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be more than 2 seconds, 3 seconds inside a team fight because you're probably gonna get down.
Yeah, but even like if you just look at their team, right? You're like even like if you're PKing in, you're PKing into an engineer who is actually going to be picking up a Storm Spirit, I think, which is a good item against a gladiator, of course.
Yeah, Legionnaire also has 4 PK heroes, so staying in the back for Gladiator is just a matter of time until he gets.
And we do see like them in the top line right now, and that is a dead. A dead Magnus. So yeah, that is probably going to be a Shrunken, I'm guessing.
Most likely.
I don't even know if they picked up. They should have picked up that they had a Doombringer, right? Or that he picked up Doombringer. So with that in mind, if he dies to mines at any point in this game again.
Yeah, this is also a very important thing to consider.
That might actually be not even the most terrible strategy. If you see like a mine trap somewhere, die to the mine trap so you can drop the Doombringer and then instantly pick it up in Hammerstorm.
Yeah, that's 9k move actually. Or just moving with Chipper's buffer 24/7.
Well, yeah, because like normally, like if you die to neutrals these days, you don't actually drop the Doombringer anymore. It stays on your hero. So it's actually really difficult to like transfer a Doombringer from one hero to another. I would really like for him to pick up at least like Vestments here though, even before the Shrunken. I don't know if that's the full Shrunken. It actually is. Okay, so that is a good choice. I'm happy he did that. I still think you need to get Vestments so you don't get bursted down, because Forsaken Archer as well just has a lot of magic damage. Engineer, of course. Everyone in that team has like high magic damage. And I am not sure what you do right now. Like if I were the Legion team, I would like bait like the Hammerstorm. Sorry, the Meraxes or the Magnus. Let them like solo farm top and 4 people smoke behind. The Gladiator is gonna go in because Kevin is greedy. And then you get the Doombringer. Right?
Yes, they do also have 3 PKs now, but again, it's going to be very difficult for them to bring down Gladiator the way the Sean can have, considering their 5 magic damage heroes on the Legion side. So that's either
that is a greedy teleport. Oh no, he teleported to the back actually. Okay, so Hammerstorm in the team fight there, and the entire Legion team is actually falling really quickly. Midas wasn't there for the team fight. Forsaken Archer against the Hammerstorm is just going to fall here. So yeah, this is what we said earlier, right? With the Hammerstorm, if the Hammerstorm just gets into the face of the FA, if the FA does not have like a wingbow or something like that, and these days also wingbow on ranged heroes is not as effective as it used to be. Wingbow on ranged heroes only giving 20% evasion instead of like 33 that it used to. Yeah, like Hammerstorm is just gonna smack that face.
Yeah, that happened really quickly. I wasn't even able to follow that up, and then always you guys were dead.
Yeah, because like, how much armor do they have on the enemy team, right? So like Engineer 7, Magnus is squishy. Meraxes has some armor but no farm, so he has no magic armor, so he still dies. And Midas it's not that tanky either. Like this is a team, Legion team as a team that you need to train with to be successful, but they never really started training. They just kind of played very passively.
Yeah, I also feel like at this point it's going to be very hard to stop the Hammerstorm.
Yeah, because Hammerstorm, if I were the Hammerstorm, also Basher, okay, for one, what do you think about him going for damage instead of movement speed for the Conquer buff?
What are you talking about?
Hammerstorm.
Instead of the damage.
No, he went for damage Conquer buff instead of movement speed.
I I mean, I could see the point behind, right? He wants to peek in, he wants to take down as fast as possible. And I don't think he lacks movement speed right now, so
I think
like
he's going to.
having Ghost Marchers as well as Elder Parasite as well as W.
Because like, look at the movement speed base, right? Forsaken Archer picked up 2 times movement speed. Hammerstorm picked up 4% damage. And I think it's like 4% damage is not going to change anything. 10 movement speed often is. Because if the Forsaken Archer is just 10 movement speed faster than you are, that means he runs away from you. If you're 10 movement speed faster than he is, that means you get to hit him. It's not about like, you know, it's not about like the value in on itself. It's about the value compared to the enemy's movement speed.
I mean, it's true. I think also 4% at like 300 damage is quite a lot. And also, I don't think he relies on too much chasing Forsaken Archer, right? I don't think you want to chase somebody too much. Oh, there's a team fight going bot lane. Oh. I was gonna say, you don't want to chase Forsaken Archer too much. You just want to like burst there as fast as possible and go back.
Yeah, but what if she runs away though?
I mean, in the worst case, you do have a lot of. You do have PKs. They do have a lot of catch on the Hellborn side. We're having 3 PKs in with the tablet and a lot of stun lock. So I don't think it's that of an issue. So I don't think it's like a big difference whether it picks movement speed or damage. But both work, I think.
I'm just also Gladiator picking up the health. I can't see that one.
Well, he wants to stay alive, right? He doesn't want to die.
Ooh, Hansi actually surviving it. Hansi getting the ultimate off. Magma stun in 2 seconds. Gladiator being in a position here that it might be a little bit dangerous. No, they actually choose to not go in. That's also because they actually don't have the Raxus up yet. Forsaken Archer picking up a Geobane now, but Forsaken Archer is going to be really fast. At some point, Forsaken Archer is going to be able to outrun the Hammerstorm. Also, the Conquerors from the Legion, from the Hellborn side should be up soon actually. Because they're currently lacking 1 Conqueror buff. But I was gonna say actually, before he bought the Brutalizer, because I do understand the idea behind the Brutalizer and the Oblivion Hammer, of course. It is a very strong item. It adds a lot of damage and a lot of strength as well. And just the guaranteed stun against the single core is insane. So I do like it. But I would have maybe liked against the split push bullshit that's going to happen at some point, guaranteed. Because you have the Midas, you have the, you know, everyone. What about a Frostwolf?
That item hasn't been picked often lately.
Actually, I do see it picked up quite often in the late game because it is so it gives so much information. Because Frostwolf has 7,000 range and it just sends out 2 wolves. And even if the wolves, basically, if you for the guys that don't know, because it is not picked up too often, fair enough. It basically sends out 2 Emerald Warden wolves. You could kind of see it as that run towards the target, and then like give vision and reveals of them. But you kind of just get a good like idea of where the enemy is, because it goes to the closest to. So if you press it, if they're anywhere within like 7,000 range, you're gonna know where they are.
It also applies to create movement slow.
Yeah, so, okay, yeah, and that's just the active effect. The passive effect is, of course, a 40% movement speed slow. And if Hammerstorm has the Frostwolf, the Forsaken Archer is never going to escape. Maybe Geobane can, of course, purchase and then run it, because, like, Forsaken Archer passively currently has 437 movement speed, with the Hammerstorm passively having only 350 and going for another damage buff. He does, of course, the PK. So with the PK, because he didn't go for the movement speed buff, I do actually like the Oblivion Hammer, because you PK, you hit. If you don't stun him, then you use the Oblivion Hammer to stun the FA. But it's just going to be if everything doesn't work out like exactly like that. Catching up to the FAs is going to be such a pain always.
I would definitely want to see Hellflower on Gladiator here. I think it's going to be a great pickup here. Disabling completely Forsaken Archer, having a great setup for the Hellborn team.
Yeah, I think he is going to, but
yeah,
I
would definitely go. If I was bad, I would definitely go here. I think it's. I mean, what else can you go without, right?
I would go more tanky, because the one way to lose this is for the FA to get Doombringer. Suddenly, unexpectedly.
They do have great map control on the Hellborn team, so for FA to be able to get Gladiator down, they do need to sneak up a lot. So either have a great smoke play, or I don't see that happening. So just be able to blink in, Hellflower, Showdown, setting up for Hammerstorm. I really don't see how they get away unless he gets a great Storm Spirit from Engineer following. Yeah, it's just a matter of
setting up for Congo here. Congo is always like the place where dreams go to die. That is how I see Congo always.
Yeah, it's either do or die.
Oh, and they're going in. Actually, Hammerstorm going in. Hammerstorm without the. Oh, and they're actually okay in the background. Sorry, Hammerstorm without the Elder Parasite, not being that fast. They actually burst down the Magmas, but the FA is right-clicking now. FA having popped the Shrunken, and Gladiator going in very aggressively. The engineers, the Kinesis stunning the FA, and they're all going out, and the Gladiator gets stunned actually, and it might be a Doombringer for the Forsaken Archer. Hammerstorm also got stunned. Hammerstorm not having anything right now, no mana, can't escape. And this is actually a disaster. I told you, dreams go to die whenever you go Kongor. This ape is the crusher of dreams. It's the big ball buster. And I'm just happy that I am finally not the one dying to Kongor.
Yeah, this was so unfortunate. I mean, Kevin did show down himself. He wanted to give a flake and run back, but he did pop up his Shrunken Head, which forced him to stay at the spot. And he was no longer able to return back, so he just TP'd, but the Shrunken Head was running off, so they did manage to catch him there. And his idea was good, but it was a little unfortunate. And now let's see how it escalates. Definitely didn't want to have Doombringer and FA at this point. Having 550 damage.
Having the symbol of rage now. Oh, and that might be it. Is that... where's FA? FA, oh, okay. Sorry, that was just illusions there. FA doing the smart thing and just running back because you have a Doombringer. You don't need to rush anything. Like, because not only do you have a Doombringer now, suddenly Gladiator hits like a wet sponge. Right? You don't really need to care about him anymore. There's a Congar up here that's half HP. You could take that. We see Hammerstorm being smoked here. And Hammerstorm... Okay, so the big part there, right? Oh, he's actually going for the Conga right now without the Midas being up. I really don't like that. Yeah, they should go back.
That's a round 2.
Oh, Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm actually got Bola. They got a Bola on the Meraxes. I didn't even notice. And that is dead one person. Meraxes manning up against Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm not having a Shrunken. Hammerstorm melting with the Doombringer Forsaken Archer. Forsaken Archer picking up 1, picking up 2, and the Kinesis is the only one alive. Kinesis falling. Scrap that actually. Gladiator still alive. Gladiator in the background. Rally is also alive right now. Rally is running over. There's a double damage rune over there. They do still have good vision. Forsaken Archer should really be played to not die. And he's just gonna pick up the Congar and go back because the Gladiator and the Rally probably don't have the damage to actually burst down a Forsaken Archer with 2.6k HP and a Doombringer. Because Gladiator just doesn't really do that much bursts necessarily without 6k item that you just lost. It's honestly a bit anticlimactic the way that they just gave away this game because they were ahead like so far. But what I was gonna say, like a big part of that first engagement actually, where the Gladiator lost a Doombringer, was the Hammerstorm popped his Elder Parasite on the Congar. And
actually, I'm really curious actually to hear about what stood behind that plan. Maybe they did want to end up sooner. Maybe not letting FA to get to that stage, hoping that they would be able to end the game before such a thing happens. But maybe the plans did not work. But then again, we cannot really know that. So
we can ask him if it was like a mispurchase or a choice. I think that is like what it comes down to.
That would be a very interesting misclick there.
Yep. No, but like Forsaken Arch, sorry, the Hammerstorm did not have the Elder Parasite active when he was hitting Kongor. He popped Elder Parasite for that. And then he saw like the Moraxis run in. And he jumped the Moraxis, but he didn't have his Elder Parasite. So Moraxis with 2 Kongor buffs, 400 movement speed, literally just ran away from the Hammerstorm. And I think this is what it comes down to again. Hammerstorm, like, just not having enough movement speed to actually like hit targets there. Oh, and they're going. There's a big team fight again. Not the entire Albert team is ready though. Forsaken Gladiator in the middle. Hammerstorm getting Bolak there. Hammerstorm manning up on the Forsaken Archer. Forsaken Archer might die. Forsaken Archer died. Doombringer on the count. Hammerstorm picks up the Doombringer, and that was a huge rally ultimate, hitting many targets. The Kinesis ultimate on the Forsaken Archer, locking him down. Forsaken Archer not actually getting his shrunken head off, maybe waiting a little bit too much, but the Hammerstorm with 800 damage. That is with a Doombringer though, with 500 damage without the Doombringer. Just melting the enemy team. And suddenly the Doombringer is in the hands of the Legion side again. Not in the hands of the Doombringer, but in the hands of in the capable hands of the Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm has some gold saved up, 5k now. And I'll be interested to see what he would pick up here. I think it is likely to see that he would either pick up a Geobane to get rid of the Bola, or that he would pick up something like a Resto Stone to have 2 Shrunkens. But the enemy Kongor on the Hellborn side is going to be up in a couple of minutes. I would like to see the Hellborn team try to pick off that and also defend the bottom lane while you're doing it. Hammerstorm playing a little bit greedy right now because he's kind of alone. I guess the Hellborn, so the Legion side doesn't really have the tools to finish off the Hammerstorm right now in this case, so he can just do that. But yeah, so they have his Sheepstick on the Midas. So the Hammerstorm, if he gets initiated, can definitely fall. But as we saw that fight, if like the entire Hellborn team is just kind of ready to roll, yeah, they really can pull some pull some heavy punches in that case. So yeah. I think that last team fight was a big part of the rally ultimate, actually hitting a lot of people, and that is like a 1.1k burst. Them initiating on the Gladiator. Well, Gladiator, I think, still got most of his spells off. And Hammerstorm just pounding in the auto attacks to the Forsaken Archer, who got Kinesis ultimated.
Yeah, so...
yeah, go.
Now, also, Hammerstorm did get the Doombringer, which was something that nobody wanted to happen here. And maybe that was actually part of the plan here, right? Purchasing on Gladiator, having Hammerstorm to go in his items that he meant to go initial. And just giving it back, and at some point now it's a very tricky situation here.
Hammerstorm actually got staff gifted as well.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know if he had that.
Here.
Yeah, that's definitely very big as well. I think with that in mind, because Hammerstorm's staff also increases the range of the staff by sort of the Q by 300 seconds. Meaning that you have like 900 range on your Q and like slow but competent leap. And of course that deals your attack damage in an area. And if Hammerstorm, if Hammerstorm has like 900 damage, that is a 900 damage burst AoE. Okay, so let's talk about this for a second. What if you were this Hammerstorm right now? What would you buy? What would you sell? Because like, okay, so yeah, you have like attack speed, so you have damage. Hammerstorm never lacked damage though with his ultimate. But he needs attack speed, right? And he sold the Twin Blades for the Doombringer, I think.
That's actually tricky. I'm not sure. That would probably be either Portal Key, because he has Staff of the Master now, so he's gonna be able to fly anyways. But he does want to get closer in the team fight, so he might keep it. And the Elder Parasite. Okay, it seems like he did. okay, so like he did sell it, right?
I would have 100% bought a Resto Stone. Because not only do you get like 2 Qs, meaning 2 AoE damages, you get 2 Elder Parasites, and you get 2 Shrunkens. I don't think it works on Oblivion Hammer, funny enough. Because Oblivion Hammer is weird.
He didn't want to take the risk on getting Shipstick at this point, so maybe being able to have that spare 1 second to be able to pop up the Shwanky before he gets shipped is a great thing here.
Yeah, but you just, like with Resto Stone, you don't need to be stingy with your Shrunken.
Yeah, I get
Because like he has 900 damage right now. But I don't think Nullstone does that much for you. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think both work.
I think also buying post haste would have been better because he did actually go for the movement speed now, thank god. I was getting frustrated watching him be so slow. But like movement speed, Ghost Marchers versus like post haste. Post haste have like 105 base movement speed, which should also help him a lot. Especially because like he doesn't have steam boots, he doesn't get the attack speed from that. There is maybe something happening in the top lane. Midas is just kind of pushing that out. There is the FA there with the...
Oh, they actually have a top tower 40 minutes in. That's interesting.
Yeah, the Legion side hasn't really pushed on the enemy side too much. Merax is just kind of trying to split push in the top lane. Gladiator just chilling there. Midas walking up. The Hellborn side is not really playing too confidently. Which makes sense because they have the Doombringer. They don't want to take any unnecessary risks. So that's probably a smart play by them. We also see that the Kinesis be picked up in Gnome's Wisdom, which I do really like because it just helps a lot against automatic armor. One way to burst down the Hammerstorm, of course, is by getting an Engineer Staff. Because once you get the Engineer Staff, you can throw it onto someone and that perplexes it. And that's really is one of the best ways to, box down a Hammerstorm this late into the game. Because Hammerstorm has 3.3k HP, 23 armor. He's a tanky boy. He's gonna be very, very hard to actually burst down. Also because they do have the rally still. They do have like tools to deal with him. It's just gonna be hard.
What would you want to see on FA right now? Because I feel like she might need some... I mean, she does have Shrine King Head symbol, Geos. She goes with a lot of defensive...
Double damage rune, that's what I would like to see on him.
Oh, yes, definitely. But I would maybe consider having Wingbow here. That could be great. Having even one miss on Hammerstorm could be a deal breaker here.
Well, also because like the extra range helps a lot, of course, because like they have a lot of heroes that deal small AoE damage, like Hammerstorm, like Rally, that kind of stuff.
Maybe Genjuro as well to make the sneaky plays behind.
Yes, that's what actually going to be my suggestion, Genjuro. If the Hammerstorm is in your face, it doesn't matter what, you don't want to man fight him, right?
Yeah, you would like to bait the Shrine King Head first before you go in.
Well, you just don't want to man fight him.
No, not at all.
Because like, you're just not gonna win. He's gonna stun your face and he's gonna hit your face, and like your face is just going to be very, very flat after the Hammerstorm is done with it.
Did he sell some?
Yeah. But what? Okay. No, PK. Elder Parasite. He sold Elder Parasite.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was Elder Parasite.
Like, look how slow he is now. This is with his W. Without his W, he has 360 movement speed.
Okay,
and I think this is like, do you really care about like the 8% damage right now, or would you rather have like 390 movement speed? This is what I always get down to when it comes down to like the argument of like movement speed against damage buffs. And this is for auto attack heroes, not for and he picks up Genjuro actually. That's a good pickup. And this is for auto attack heroes, not for like casters, right?
Well, I mean, 8% at almost 1k with ultimate is a huge difference, right? It's not.
Yeah, but that's like the difference between like killing someone in 3 hits and killing someone in 3.1 hits. Or like, 3.1 or 3.2 hits. It's still, it's not going to make a difference in most cases. While the extra movement speed is going to make a difference in most cases. And actually, we do see a Wingbow pickup on a second Archer. I would have actually liked to see this the other way around, where the Hammerstorm would have gotten a Wingbow because of a lot of reasons, actually. One, unit walking. Unit walking would help a lot. 2, 35% evasion on a Hammerstorm. Pretty good. It is 35, right? Yeah, 35% evasion and 25% movement speed. There's a 25 movement speed and 75 attack range as well. While I don't really like the ranged wing bow these days that much. Because I don't think, like, it's only 20% evasion. It feels so little, right?